Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of It's All Well and Good with me, Abbie Nesbitt. It's Sunday, the 23rd of February. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. I hope you're all having a lovely, lovely weekend. I'm having a nice chill one again. Let's have a quick catch up because it's been another couple of weeks since I last did a recording. So, since then, what have I been up to? Oh my God, it was Valentine's Day. I hope everybody had a lovely Valentine's Day. Last weekend, me and Eddie went to Murray in Liverpool on Bolt Street for dinner. It was absolutely gorgeous. We were sat on the bar having small plates and a bottle of wine. I mean, it just doesn't really get much better than that, does it? And then the next day, we jumped on the plane to go, jumped in the plane from LAX and went to Northern Ireland because it was my niece's first birthday. Oh my God. Violet, if by some chance you are listening to this, I love you so much and I cannot believe that you're 1 year old. Please, please stop growing. Whenever there's kids in your family, it makes you realize how fast time goes because kids grow up so quickly. And it's just absolutely crazy to think that, that much time is passing in such a short space of time. But it was absolutely gorgeous to see my family and to see everybody and to see my little nieces as well. Rosie, you turned 3 last month, and I don't think anybody actually believes that you're 3, and we all want you to stay like the little baby that you once were. You know what? I think I've waited for such a long time in my life to be an auntie. I remember begging my brother to have kids because I just wanted to be an auntie. And as soon as him and his wife, Leah, I love you. As soon as they started having kids, I was just it just made my life. I love being an auntie. Um, I hope to have kids of my own someday, but I love being an auntie. I love coming home and seeing them and surprising them, and yeah, it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. So last weekend was very wholesome, and we got to see them for a little bit of birthday cake and party food and catching up, and it was lovely. This week, really haven't really done that much, to be honest. Been to the gym. I have been recording the little outfit videos. I don't know if you've seen them, but they're on my TikTok and on my Instagram. Like I promised last time, I was gonna start doing that to kind of reuse the old clothes that are in my wardrobe that I wouldn't normally use. So that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to plan and like style better outfits for work. And it's been so much fun. I think I should press this fuck it button a lot more often because I'm having such a good time. I'm getting good feedback from it, which is also a bonus. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's given me a kick in my creativity, trying something new. Um, so yeah, I've been absolutely loving that. Me and Eddie went to see Berlioz on Wednesday. Easily the best live music I've ever heard. And a lot of people go, ooh, mm, but I have to follow that up with, no, I'm not being exaggerative. Like, I'm not like being over the top here. I genuinely believe that that is the best music I've ever heard live. It was a 4-piece band. Berlioz was playing the house music backing tracks and like doing the sound pad business. There was a bassist, there was a double pianist, so we had like 2 keyboards, which was absolutely insane. And of course, the saxophone. Oh my God, like the most amazing music ever. And I don't know if this kind of puts it into perspective, but for me it does. We don't have a record player here. In this flat, we do not have a record player. It's a shame and disgrace, I know, but get over it. We bought the record that night. It came with 2 records, 2 double-sided records in it for a reasonably good price, I believe. And we don't have a record player. That's how good the music was. So, yeah. God, I got really passionate there. I'm only like, 5 minutes in? Where are we? Yeah, 4.5 minutes in. God love yous. But yeah, had the best time ever. So good. In the Invisible Wind Factory in Liverpool. If you haven't been there, it's an independent music venue. Absolutely unreal. It's been running for years. Everybody loves it. Get yourself down. And then since then, just chilling, going to the gym, looking after myself. Hip update. My hip is so much better. It's still not good enough to run though. But it's been, how many weeks has it been? It was 6 weeks yesterday that I've been treating this injury. I'm not going to say that I'm suffering because I'm not suffering, but I am getting better. So I'm treating this injury and every day I'm closer to running again, which is brilliant. But it is getting quite frustrating because I don't know, I've got myself into limping habit, and I need to like, that's another thing that I have to treat. I have to treat the pain, then I have to treat like how I'm walking. So essentially I'm having to learn how to walk properly again, which is crazy because once you're in that kind of habit, it's so hard to come out of it. But I'm doing my stretches in the gym, I'm doing my exercises that the physio is setting, so we're getting there slowly but surely. I have not finished Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. Stop asking me. I might finish it soon. Am I ever going to read more than one book in a month? Or is it ever going to take me less than a month to read a book? I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. We'll find out. Things that I'm recommending. I'm recommending the recipe that I cooked this week. Chicken meatballs, steamed or like poached. Yeah, poached veg and rice. It's a really yummy recipe, and I'll link it below. It was really refreshing. It was nice. It was warm. It was tasty. There was a nice glaze on the chicken balls. It was just yum. So I'll link that. That's what I'm recommending. I'm still listening to albums, by the way. So please send me any albums that you think I would like. I've listened to Abbie State. I think I've listened to all of their albums. Unreal. We were listening to them last week, actually, and then we realised that they were doing a gig in Manchester, but it was a little bit too late to go. And we knew that we had Berlioz the following week, so we weren't going to be that selfish, gig-wise. But I have been listening to Abbie State. I think their music is class. I got my nails done. I got a dual colourway. One hand's green with the yellow squiggles on it, and the other hand's yellow with green squiggles on it. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. So loving that at the minute. Oh my God. Vinted, me and Vinted, we are married. We're not back together. We're not seeing each other. We are married. I am making money on Vinted, which I'm really, really happy about. I'm getting rid of old clothes. I'm shedding old skin, and I'm buying new clothes, and I'm flipping that damn wardrobe. I know that kind of goes against what I said about like styling old clothes, but I'm just kind of I'm working on my own personal style, and it feels so good to do that. It feels so good to have the chance to do that. Talking about it for years, so yeah, that's what we're doing. What I'm watching on TV, finished Big Boys. I think we need to have a moment of silence for Big Boys on Channel 4, all four, and that's it. It's If you haven't watched it, it's got James from Dairy Girls in it, and if you haven't seen Dairy Girls, go and watch Dairy Girls. I don't know why you're listening to this and you haven't even seen Dairy Girls. Like, I think that's actually quite insulting for me. So go and do your homework. Go and watch Dairy Girls, and then when you're finished watching Dairy Girls, watch Big Boys. Yeah, it's just typical like Turtle 4, feel good, silly, relatable, wholesome kind of shows. 30-minute episodes, like it's just got that vibe going on. So go and give them a watch. We're absolutely loving them. Still making our way through Broadchurch. Second season's all about the court case, so we're gonna see how that goes. And aside from that, touching on all the wholesome points that I made earlier, today's episode is going to be about nostalgia. How great nostalgia can be, how torturing nostalgia can be. I don't know, like maybe I'll get into a little bit of science about it, about the actual emotions and energy it creates, and how your brain stores or visualizes memories, and not everybody can do that. And I'll leave that there. So that's your context for today's episode, and let's get into it. So I don't know about you, but I feel like I can be tortured by my own nostalgia and my own memories sometimes. More probably dependent on how I'm feeling generally, like how my mental health is. If I feel like my mental health isn't that strong and I feel nostalgic, it might make me have some kind of existential panic of, oh my God, I'm running out of time. Oh my God, I want to go back. Oh. Or if I'm really happy, I'm like, oh, wasn't that nice? And happy then to move on from that. I don't know. I have really mixed feelings about nostalgia. Things that make me feel nostalgic. My granny's back garden. My granny's back garden. And I'm going to try and not to get too emotional about it, but I love it. And I think that's probably all I can say before I start crying. Oh dear. But yeah, my granny's back garden, it is amazing. Holds so many memories for me and wider family, and it's just great. But we're just gonna leave that one there because I'm sure you all have little nostalgic moments that just kind of touch on the heartstrings. So we'll leave that as well. Other things that make me feel nostalgic, typical places like high school, primary school, town, neighbouring towns. And I think they do make me feel nostalgic, obviously, because I grew up in these little tiny towns with all these little key buildings. But I think I feel more nostalgia towards these places because I've moved away. So I live in Liverpool now and I have done for nearly 6 years. What? Well, when did that happen? I absolutely cannot believe that I moved here when I was 18. I look at 18-year-olds now and I think, oh my God, you're so young. But then I think back to when I was 18 and think, what I've learned since then. I basically knew nothing when I was 18 and I was moving country. It is just crazy. But yeah, sometimes when I'm at home, when I go back home for the weekend, I will walk around the town, or like the last time, like Christmas time, I went for a run and I ran round to the little primary school that now has a park, but used to not have that. It's like the primary school used to be so much smaller. We didn't have any of the facilities, but now it has this like fully fledged open park beside it. I ran up to my high school, looks pretty much the same, and just kind of stood there and was like, I cannot believe that I spent so much of my life there. Like it just has went so fast. Ran around the rest of the town. Obviously, it just looks the same. It feels the same. It's got the same vibe. Nice to be home, but it's kind of bitter. I just find like nostalgia can be quite bitter because I think maybe for for me, feeling nostalgic about being back home in simpler times, less worries or different worries that might not worry me as much now as what they did then, or you know what I'm trying to say? Like just simpler times. And I think that's maybe the bitterness from it because I just wish I could go back and have less of the stress. But yeah, I just wish I could go back and relive all of those happy memories because why not? Why wouldn't you want to go back and relive your happy memories? Objects, there's so many things. Like I still have my childhood teddy. Well, it's not a teddy, it's actually a monkey. Um that I've had since I was 6. And I begged mum to buy me the monkey while me, my brother, and my mum were on holidays in Mallorca. And we went for 2 weeks. Like, this is before my mum met my stepdad, and like that's part of my life began. I begged my mum to buy me this monkey, and she bought me it, and I nicknamed it Munko because I'm so creative and I'm so original, and I just, like naming things clearly still is on my CV. Like that is exceptional work from me. Names it Munko, and then I like there's this picture of me swinging Munko around a square in Mallorca, and there's an ABBA tribute band on, and that's when my love for ABBA started. Not the cliche kind of I love dancing to ABBA in the pub kind of love. I absolutely love ABBA. I grew up on ABBA and Queen. Yeah, there's this picture. I'm pretty sure I have the picture. Wait, let me go and get it. Oh my God, guys! I literally have found I have found my memory box. So we're gonna go through my memory box, mate. Let me get me linked up again. Okay, so I found my memory box. Everybody say hello to Monko on camera right now. By the way, if you're listening, you're probably best jumping over to YouTube to watch if you want to watch. If not, you can imagine what Monko looks like. He's one of those teddies where you pull his arm, his leg gets shorter. Got him out of breath. I actually got to get in his box, but yeah, he's so cute. Oh, me and him have been together for how many years? Nearly 20 years. And you're still looking good. Still looking good. What else have we got in here? We got Teddy that my Auntie Julie got me for graduation. I should be 3 years old this year, which is crazy because that means I've graduate for 3 years. I've got a little box of rocks and shells I think I collected from Dubrovnik, me and Eddie's first holiday. Giving hoarder. No, it's not. Obviously, it's not. I've got my first running race thing that says Abbie on the front. Love. Won't take me long going through this. Wait, what am I looking for? I'm looking for that picture. Oh, I've got loads of uni pictures, loads of disposable camera uni pictures. And we're coming up to the family one. So I'm gonna show you the little picture of me in the square dancing to ABBA. Okay, it turns out I can't find it. But if I do find it, I'll put it on the video. I have found loads of other pictures which are really nice. Some are old, some are newer. I'm gonna set up the graduate Teddy and Munko so they can just watch. Loads of pictures of when I was a little baby. Look, pictures when I was first born. Oh, well, not that I remember this, and it might not have anything to do with nostalgia, but I mean, this is my life, isn't it? And you remember your life, and that's what makes nostalgia. Me when I was a baba. So cute. Pictures of mum when she was pregnant with me, my first bath. Pictures of me and my mum, and on the back, to mum, happy Mother's Day. Love you forever. I mean, look at how well I turned out. Oh my god, so cocky. A signed 2013 on the bottom. Oh yeah, my first Christmas when I was born. God, I was a chubby baby. Me, my nanny, and my granda meeting for the first time. Me and Ross off to school on our first day. Oh, just so many moments. So nice to look back on, but also so heart-wrenching as well. And then a picture of me and my family at my brother's wedding. Wow. It's just so lovely to look back on photos. I'm such an advocate for disposable photos because I just think they're really real. They capture that moment in time. There's something just slightly inauthentic about taking pictures with your phone now. I think the novelty's worn off. I think we know that cameras and clips and voice notes and disposable cameras, they just mean that little bit more. So it's always nice. Me and Eddie took 2 cameras to Madeira last year. Wow. Last year, because we're into 2025, we took 2 disposable cameras to Madeira and we had one each and we captured the whole day from each other's point of view, which was absolutely lovely. And it's just so nice to have those physical pictures there and then. And to be fair, it took us a while to get them developed. It took us a couple of months, I would say. Oh no, maybe more, maybe 6 months. So it was really nice to have those moments stored away. We couldn't necessarily remember the pictures that we had taken. So whenever we got them developed, it was such a lovely surprise. So definitely get yourself onto disposable cameras to kind of capture those moments perfectly. But going back to objects that bring me nostalgia, I would say definitely that teddy brings me a lot of nostalgia. Certain things like clothes as well. There's some of my old clothes still at home and I would look through the drawer and I would just look through the clothes in the drawer and it would just take me back to such a different time. There's so many objects that can bring so many memories back. I'm having trouble with my little LED light. I think she needs charged and I keep turning her back on before she's charged up enough. So we're just going to go with this little lamp that I've got going instead. So apologies if the lighting isn't great. I'll do what I can on the editing point of view to make this better for you. I do have really mixed feelings towards nostalgia, which is weird because nostalgia is a feeling in itself. But I think that's because, I don't know, I think the feeling that I get whenever I feel nostalgic is almost like it's a feeling that's probably most similar to heartbreak. The tightness in your chest, pulling on your heartstrings, getting that lump in your throat, that kind of feeling. I think that's why I struggle to accept or feel nostalgic is because it feels similar to heartbreak, and obviously there's a bit of trauma there, a bit of PTSD from those feelings and how gut-wrenching that can be. So I think that's one of the reasons why I don't like nostalgia. Obviously I love it because I love going through memories and I love looking back on my life. Yeah, I always come around to that feeling of, oh, I don't know. Maybe that's something I need to work on. Maybe it is. But yeah, you know what? Let's jump into some sciencey bits. So I'm going to ask Google, should I ask ChatGPT? Okay. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, because I always say ChatGPT. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, what is nostalgia? Also, I think the word nostalgia is a lovely word as well. I love anything with a J. Like the name Georgia. Georgia. I think it's lovely. Okay, ChatGPT has said, nostalgia is a feeling of longing or affection for a pastime or experience, often accompanied by a sense of warmth, comfort, or sadness. It can be triggered by specific memories, places, people, or even sensory experiences like a smell or a song. While nostalgia often brings up positive emotions, it can also carry a bittersweet quality as it reminds people of times they can no longer experience. Essentially, it's the emotional connection we have to our past. Okay, so it is definitely an emotion that we feel. But I think we did know that. That wasn't a profound thing. Why was I trying to say that like it was a profound thing? Is the physical science of nostalgia. Does that make sense? Oh, it's ChatGPT, it makes sense of it. The physical science of nostalgia involves understanding how the brain processes and responds to nostalgic experiences. When we feel nostalgic, several complex mechanisms in the brain are at play, combining elements of memory, emotion, and sensory input. Here's a breakdown of how it works from a scientific perspective. Memory activation. When memories are activated, emotional response. Your emotional response to remembering these emotions, or remember these memories. Reward system. Nostalgia can trigger a ventral. Oh, I'm not going to get into that one. Reward system. So these are the chemical reactions that happen after your emotions happen. So like a rush of dopamine, joy, contentment, pleasure, or maybe like more sad physical reactions. Sensory input, neurochemical. Wow, but it's very sciencey. So there's a lot of I feel like nostalgia is like a massive emotion, but it's kind of like a full body experience. Like you're visualizing something or you're looking at something that's triggering a memory, to then you'll have an emotional reaction to that memory, a physical reaction to that. And then what was it? The dopamine hit or the sadness afterwards. And then, those kind of that moment that you've had with your nostalgia can also attach itself to the memory that you have, creating a further connection to that memory. I think I'm making sense of this. Well, this is what I make sense of it anyway. I've just looked around me and it's so nice to be surrounded by all my things. You can't really see it right now, but it's just nice to have everything surrounding me. Isn't there something to do with whenever you're remembering something, each time you remember it, you remember less of it, but you remember more of how you felt the last time you were remembering it. So if we're remembering a memory and feeling nostalgic and whatever that brings on, that feeling will be the feeling that we remember the next time we're reminded of that memory. Wow. Remember. That's literally what I just said. Remember, memory. Oh, I think I might just leave that part there. Yeah, I think I might just leave that part there. We're 30 minutes in. Let's see what you thought about nostalgia. So I posted on my Instagram story the other day, how do you feel towards nostalgia? What's your favorite memory? What's your least favorite memory? What do you like about it? What do you hate about it? Like overall, just what's your feelings on nostalgia? And I had so many responses, so many interesting responses, so many lovely responses. So with that, we're gonna go through some of you guys' responses. Um, First up, Christmas Day nostalgia, family all being present, simpler times. And I really like this response because it made me think about, what it is to be around around a table at Christmas time. Obviously, it's different for everybody else, so I'm just basing what I'm about to say on my own experiences. Well, I replied back saying it completely centers everything that's happened in one year around one table, with the people who you're experiencing that with, and it's really nice that like everybody kind of reminisces and feels nostalgic and goes over previous emotions and what's happened that year, or what the last Christmas was like, or what Christmas was like 14 years ago, or, like Christmas is quite special in that sense. It definitely has a complete like relation to nostalgia. So I definitely agree. Someone wrote, oh my God, I could write a fucking book on this. Such a love-hate relationship with it. I love looking back and remembering, but I hate that I can never go back and repeat the same feeling again and again and again. I think that is just that love-hate relationship with nostalgia. Like, it absolutely does everybody's heads in. We do wish that we could go back and relive all of these memories. Of course, like, why wouldn't we want to do that? But then it's like we literally just can't. We can't. So sometimes it feels like mental jail, like a lovely mental jail, because you're there with all of your memories, but you can't go back. You can't move. You can't go anywhere. You're just kind of stuck with these memories, which is lovely. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I'm just describing. Extravision. Someone literally just said Extravision, and that is all that needs to be said on that. If you went to Extravision on a Friday and picked out your movies for that weekend, we lived the same kind of life. We did the same things. Extravision is definitely very nostalgic, and I love the person who just dropped that in. That is so clever. So someone wrote in, well, I know her so well. Love, at least once a week. I think of all the badness we used to get up to during COVID, especially furlough at Merlot. Oh my God. Whenever it was COVID times and it was that banging good weather, um, me and my friends used to sneak off with the rest of the country to a beach in Northern Ireland called Merlot. Or no, sorry, it's called Murlock Beach. It's near Newcastle. And we used to sit up on this sand dune and just have a couple of drinks, have a laugh, just kind of forget that the world was falling apart around us, and to like being young and just enjoying ourselves and trying to, carry on with our summer regardless of what was going on. Everybody was getting furlough. I get confused between furlough and Murlock because it's spelt basically the same apart from the first letter, but everyone is getting furloughed. So furloughed was a payment that you would get from your employer each week based on like the amount of hours, or the amount of hours that you worked in the previous 3 months before COVID hit. So it's kind of like a predicted salary, a predicted wage. For reference, I was on £17 a week because I was working very, very, very part-time. And this was after my first year of uni. So I was only being paid £17 from that employer because I only worked for that employer whenever I came home from Liverpool. So I was getting paid 17 quid a week. 17 quid a week was all I needed to have such a good summer. I'm not gonna lie to you. So we called it this poignant moment of our lives furlough at Merlot, because everyone was being furloughed at Murlock Beach, and it was just amazing. We had so much fun. But I get what you mean. Like, I do think about that. I think every summer comes around, I'm like, oh, I hope this summer is as good as that summer. You get to the end of it, I'm like, it's just not quite the same. It's just not quite the same. That was definitely an amazing time of our lives. Another point, I love nostalgia. I think it brings up a whole load of different emotions. That it does bring up a load of emotions, and it's nice to feel those emotions, especially when like sometimes every day I can feel the same, or you haven't felt that in a while, and like, God, I'm not saying that you're numb. I'm not saying that I'm numb either. I'm just saying that it's nice to feel something, but not in that kind of way. It's just nice to feel. Another point, I love nostalgia. No, I hate nostalgia, to be honest. I have a really strong smell nostalgia, and it ruins most perfumes. Oh my God, right off. Britney Spears, Midnight. Ariana Grande, the one with the little poofy triangular thing. Or was that? No, that was One Direction. The Ariana Grande one was the little like pom-pom. Those bring back memories. And God forbid Eddie, if he ever walks into this house and he wants to smell of that millionaire aftershave, the gold bottle, can't stand that, because that was the scent of my exes for 10 years. Be asked, do not come anywhere near me. Like, that will shatter me. Horrible. So yeah, if you were a millionaire aftershave, or if you know anybody who wears that, ironically on the back of the COVID discussion, 2 meters away, please do not come anywhere near me. Another point, I feel like a lot of times it can feel like an ache or a longing for people that aren't in your life anymore. Yeah, I guess nostalgia can make us miss. I mean, it makes us miss that moment. It makes us miss that place. Um, and I guess the people that we made those memories with. So yeah, it does make, yeah, I guess you're right. That's maybe quite emotional. It does make us miss people who aren't in our lives anymore. Nostalgia is, it is wonderful. It is wonderful, but it is so, so bittersweet. Like, why is it like that? Why can't we just like jump into our minds and replay memories as if we were there? And that's it. Like, why do we have to be always hit with the realization that we can't go back? Like, I get it. Like, we can't go back. Okay, but just let me just live in this little memory for a minute and feel how good that felt, and then I'll carry on with my life. I don't want the gut wrenching part of it. That's the part that makes me hate nostalgia. It's just the part that you can't go back. And I'm gonna go around in a circle here, but come with me, stay with me. I don't want it. I don't want to be reminded. Like, if I can just switch off that part of my brain that tells me, oh, but you can't do that again. You can't go back there. I would, oh my God, turn it off. As Elena Gilbert once said, turn it off. Like, I will literally just switch that off, because I just want to be able to like relive in memories that I had without that bloody awful, like, sick feeling in my stomach. Another point, what I love about nostalgia is that no matter what, another point, what I love about nostalgia is that no matter how old you are, how many lives you've lived, how many different versions of yourself you've become, nostalgia will always bring you back to that innocent inner child version that you never fully grow out of. It'll bring comfort and feelings to you that will always be relatable no matter what different life stage you'll be in. That is absolutely on point. Because the person that we are today is the sum of all of our lived experiences and all of our lives and all of our memories into one. I completely agree that it brings you back to your inner child, like this person that you have been in your mind all of your life, which is so special and such a lovely thing. And it doesn't matter how, like, exactly what this person said, it doesn't matter how many lives that you've lived. I think I live to create memories in some ways. Like, I want to be old and sat in a pub talking about everywhere that I've travelled to and all of the people that I've met. My favourite memories are with my angel pup, as it's all I've got left of him now. I think that's why they're so important. They take you back to somewhere you can't physically be right now. Same thing with nostalgia. I think it's like a warm blanket. Even if it's not a positive memory, it can help you reflect on how far you've come. I guess in summary, I love memories, and you are a part of many. Oh, that is so sweet. I love the person who wrote this. Like, thank you so much. There is definitely a clear difference between like memories and nostalgia. I guess nostalgia is the feeling that you feel from memories. Memories are, it's so important. I mean, they keep us moving, like they keep us motivated, they keep us, like they keep us centered and grounded, happy. And there's so much light in memories, but there can be so much darkness in the real world. So I completely agree that memories are so, so important. And nostalgia can be like a warm blanket. It can be a reflection point. It's kind of like holding up the mirror to, what you've previously experienced and what you can take away from that and what you can learn from and how you can be stronger and how you can potentially react knowing what you've been through before. So yeah, that's like a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful point. I'd like to thank absolutely everybody who sent in their comments about how they felt towards nostalgia. I've loved recording this episode. I think I'm going to end it on something different though, which is a little fact that not everybody has an inner monologue and not everybody can. Let's jump back onto Google and see what Google says about this, because I know this is definitely true, but let's just get the bare facts, because I'm not always that good at explaining things, am I? I've typed in, not everybody has an inner monologue. Research estimates that between 30 to 50% of people have an internal monologue, though the number of those who report to have no inner monologue was much lower, somewhere between 5 and 10%. There's people out there that don't have voices in their head. I'm saying that, like, they don't have an inner monologue. Like, they're not like walking around being like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, and when I've done that, I'll do, like, planning everything in their head. Like, there's some people who don't have that, which is absolutely mind boggling. And another point to this is not everyone can visualize things in their head, like have an imagination. Not everyone has imagination. So you need to use your imagination to see, like, to visualize memories. Aphantasia is a phenomenon in which people are unable to visualize imagery. 3% of people can't create a mental picture in their head. Is everyone born with imagination? Some people are born without the ability to see pictures in their mind, which is absolutely crazy. I think I'm saying that it's crazy because I do have an imagination and I can imagine things in my mind. I guess that if you couldn't do that, like, that's your normal, that's your everyday. So aphantasia is not the lack of imagination, just the visual component of it. So I guess people who have aphantasia, they can still imagine, but they just can't visually see that in their mind. This is really, really, like, this could send me into a bit of a, like, scrolling hole. I think I'm going to wrap up today's episode just there. Thank you so much for coming with me on that little bit of a memory nostalgia journey, and thanks to everybody who wrote in their comments about nostalgia. You know, it means so much to me whenever people get involved in the podcast. Thank you to everybody who's been giving me so much positive feedback as well. It does not go unnoticed or unheard of. I carry it with me into every episode, so thank you so much for your positive feedback. It really does, and I say this every time, it means the absolute world to me. If you have enjoyed today's podcast as much as I've enjoyed recording it, please leave me a 5-star review on your streaming platform. You can catch the full video version over on YouTube, or if you've already watched it, thanks for watching. Give me a little like, comment, subscribe. You can catch some funny, silly BTS style, like, behind the scenes content over on my TikTok at Abbie_Nesbitt. You can catch my outfit checks and all that good stuff. And whenever I've got some questions to ask you about the podcast, over on my Instagram at Abbie Nesbitt. Give me a little follow, give me a message with what you think about the podcast or any topic suggestions that you might have. And with that, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you on the next episode. By the way, guys, this is the 4th episode since the reboot. So we are on a roll. We are doing it. And I'm so happy to be back in a routine with this. I will catch you soon. I will catch you in March, actually. So have a wonderful end of February, and I will chat to you very soon. Thank you so much. Bye.